Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road. Are you ready to go? Hey, thanks everybody for joining us today on Live Music Nation Podcast. I'm your host, Jake Gill. Today we're with Sean Trauth, Courtyard Theater, Plano, Texas. Sean, thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Cool. How long have you been in Plano?
I've been living in Plano for about four years now, and I've been with the city since 2019, so right before the pandemic.
Okay. That's always a great time to join a new organization.
Right before the world shuts down. Yeah, it's
What
wonderful.
describe your job position for us, Sean?
So I'm the production coordinator and for intensive purposes, the supervisor for all the part-time staff and the managers on duty. So the job function that I have is shared with another production coordinator. We advance all the paperwork, we work with the clients, we make sure all the tech are handled properly, and our systems are up and running for every event, and we have something like 350
well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road. Are you ready to go?
Over of the market that we're in with the pay rates that are allowable and what people actually want.
Yeah, for sure. What can you tell us? What's the history of the Courtyard Theater?
So the history of the Courtyard Theater, it's actually a historic landmark.
Okay.
It was built in 1938 as a gymnasium for the city of Plano.
Wow.
So it was a high school gymnasium, and then next to us was the classrooms, and they had a women's basketball court inside the classrooms on the basement level. And those were owned by the city of Plano, and they were established to create jobs during a recession, essentially. So
oh wow,
they made it and they fulfilled it. They got new jobs, they got new people, and it created a good school for about 60 years or so.
Yeah.
And around 2002, there was a man named Frank Turner. He was working with the city of Plano to help reestablish a purpose for these, because over the years, the management on the facility sides let the building go to waste. They got older, people got new buildings, they moved on to better classrooms. Women's basketball courts back then were a lot smaller, so they needed a real court, so they moved out. And in 2002, Frank Turner decided to work with them to reestablish this as a theater. So they got a bunch of federal funding for it to create it in a theater perspective. They redid some of the rooms. They put some dressing rooms upstairs, downstairs. They did everything except for a fly space. So no theater works without a fly space.
What is your seating like in there? Is it all level? Is it graduated?
We have a balcony, so we have 321 seats. That's our capacity. We can probably flex to fit a couple of more if need be, but we do have balcony seating. The tech booth is up behind the balcony on a 2.5 story level, I guess. And the primary seating is definitely downstairs in a sub level.
Okay.
So we've got kind of like a sub level stage, and on the stage we've got wing space for ADA seating, and then the balcony. So kind of like a 2.5 story. Yeah.
Very cool. Give our listeners some examples of some type of the entertainment that you've had in the past.
Well, so a little bit more history on that. In 2002, we started with a company, Repertory Dance Theater, I think was the company name. They started out as a resident theater company. So we've had some big name acts that came through. They would sit in here for a month or two at a time. They do a month worth of rehearsals and a month worth of performances.
Wow.
They had some internal struggles and they ended up leaving, and then we hit a recession. So this became a rental theater. So primarily focused on community and Plano outreach. And at that point, we started getting all of the local companies to come in and facilitate it with their younger children. So we have nowadays, we've got something like Scrooge, we've got Newsies, we've had plenty of other musicals. SpongeBob is the craze right now because they all just got the rights.
Right.
We're seeing everybody and their mother trying to come in with SpongeBob. And lately, our internal division is trying to recreate that theater environment. So we're putting more holds in. We're putting some more holds in so that we can actually build up that company resident theater. so that you've got the community aspect so people learn about it, and then you've got the theater that actually brings people in and provides more of a resource to our city.
Gotcha. Now, do you just do performance theater, or do you also do other live events and live music?
We've done some live music. We had a country music concert series that we would do, and we've had Roger Krager, and back in the day, I think we even had like Alison Krauss here at one point.
Yep.
I mean, any name in your mother in the Texas red dirt region, we've probably had come through here.
So the facility itself is owned by the city.
Correct. Yes.
And do you see that changing at any point in time? Are you guys pretty happy with that?
We actually, with the city, have a 99-year lease.
Okay.
So essentially, it's going to stay the city until the city doesn't decide or decides that it's not worth the budget anymore.
Sure. No, absolutely. That's a pretty unique situation. Yeah, especially for a nonprofit. Yeah.
And it's paid in part by taxpayer dollars, but not like a considerable amount.
Sure.
Some of our staff is, but we recoup that. Our aim is to have all the companies come in, and whatever their costs are, they pay for the costs, and that kind of evens out everything. So
sure. No, absolutely. All right, Sean, let's have fun for a little bit.
All right.
Let's talk to best musical concert you've ever seen in your life. Who would you say?
Best musical concert I've ever seen in my life?
Yep.
Well, my heartstrings too, with a lot of more rock and pop world. One of the best concerts was Muse. I saw Muse back in the day on their headlining tour.
Sure.
That was probably 15 years ago.
Okay.
With tons of hydraulics and moving parts. And another one was the Beatles Love Show in Vegas.
Okay.
I was very impressed with just the amount of energy and the amount of logistics behind planning something that large.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. All right. Dead or alive, you could bring one act to the Courtyard Theater in Plano. Who would you bring?
Dead or alive? Well, we have a lot of cover bands already over here, which I'm not personally the favorite. They're not my favorite, but if you're doing a cover band, I'd like it to be somebody who can't perform anymore.
Yeah.
And I would love to have AC/DC come back.
Okay. All right.
I never got a chance to see him, so.
Yeah. No, absolutely, for sure. Very good. Sean, how do people find out more about what's going on at the Courtyard Theater? What's a good website reference?
Well, they can actually go to planostages.com. So that's planostages.com. And we actually have 4 venues. So we've got a downtown.
Oh, nice.
Downtown venue called McCall Plaza. It's outside. We have concerts Friday and Saturday nights throughout the year. Courtyard Theater's booked solid all the time. Cox Playhouse is a small black box theater, which we do have repertory theater groups coming in. And then we have an outdoor amphitheater that seats 2,000 where we've got festivals and concerts.
Oh, yeah, I can't imagine.
So our whole schedule's on there, and you can find out all more on Facebook as well.
Man, absolutely production. It sounds like you're a crazy busy guy, man. So thank you for taking some time for us today. I appreciate it.
I appreciate what you're trying to do here and shed light around all of the scope of our industry. So appreciate you and your time as well.
Very cool.
Thanks for having me.
I'll get this link sent to you in about a week or two. I'll just send you the whole video link. You can do whatever you want with it. And then we splice it. We do a lot of TikTok and Instagrams and kind of get good exposure that way as well. So I'll send all that as well.
Awesome. That's great. Thanks, Jake. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Sean. Well, baby, I'm